Hello and welcome to lesson 13-1. In this lesson, we're going to start focusing on evaluating expressions. So what does that mean? When you evaluate an expression, you're basically solving the number sentence that they gave you. It's just a fancy way of saying to find the answer. Let's go ahead and take a look at our short video lesson, and it'll all make a little more sense in just a moment. And then we can get into our notes and our guided practice together.
What order should you use when you evaluate an expression?
Let's look at an example.
Jack evaluated, open bracket, open parentheses, 7 times 2, close parentheses, minus 3, close bracket, plus 8 divided by 2 times 3. To avoid getting more than one answer, he used the order of operations. First, evaluate inside parentheses, brackets, and braces. Parentheses, brackets, and braces are all used to group numbers in numerical expressions. Second, multiply and divide from left to right. Third, add and subtract from left to right.
Okay, so pay attention to the order here. Now, when you have parentheses, these are the little rounded ones that you're used to seeing. The brackets are the squared off ones, and the braces actually are kind of curly with a point that comes out and then they go back in. When you're working with a question that has all of these in it or multiple of these, you want to start from the one that's on the inside the most. So if your innermost one is the parentheses, you're going to start there. Then you'll work out to your brackets, and then you'll work out to your braces. So the outermost one is always going to be the braces if you have all of them. Right inside of the braces, you're going to have the brackets. That's the squared off one. And then inside is the parentheses.
How did Jack evaluate, open bracket, open parentheses, 7 times 2, close parentheses, minus 3, close bracket, plus 8 divided by 2 times 3? Step 1. First, do the operations inside the parentheses. 7 times 2 equals 14. Then, evaluate the terms inside the brackets. 14 minus 3 equals 11. After you multiply 7 times 2, why do you subtract 14 minus 3 next?
Now remember, when we're working inside of parentheses, brackets, and braces, you have to work your way out from that middle or that, first innermost operation. So we did what's inside the parentheses. After that, we have to solve what's inside the brackets because this is still part of the very first thing that you need to do when you're solving using these order of operations.
The order of operations says to evaluate inside parentheses and brackets first. The parentheses were inside the brackets, so 7 times 2 was evaluated first. Next, you need to subtract 3 from 14. Step 2. Next, multiply and divide in order from left to right. 8 divided by 2 equals 4, and 4 times 3 equals 12. Why do you divide before multiplying?
Now here, the reason we're going to divide first is because when you're doing your order of operations, yes, you multiply or divide. That's going to be our next step here, but it's in the order of whatever comes first. Now, since we're moving from left to right, the first one that we see is the division. So after we did the parentheses, brackets, and braces, our next operation was a division, and then after that came a multiplication. So we do the division first, and then we multiply so that we're moving in order of our equation from left to right.
Working from left to right, division appears before multiplication in the expression. Step 3. Finally, add and subtract in order from left to right. 11 plus 12 equals 23. So the value of the expression is 23. Now you know the order to use when you evaluate an expression.
Okay, so we made it to the end of our lesson video here. We're going to go ahead and jump into our notes and guided practice. So again, when we're talking about order of operations, we need to focus on making sure that we know what to do first, second, third, and so on when we're solving an equation that has multiple steps. Now, one way to remember it is to remember the acronym PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S. So that tells us the order of operation. P is for parentheses, so parentheses, brackets, and braces. E is for exponents, but we're not working with those in this lesson. Then we multiply or divide based on what shows up first from left to right in our equation. And finally, we add or subtract, again, based on what shows up first, moving from left to right in our equation. So parentheses are the rounded ones. The brackets are the squared off ones, and the braces look like this, where it kind of rounds out and then it comes to a point and then rounds back in. Complete these operations in the order that you see right here listed. So first solve anything in parentheses, then you calculate exponents if you had them. Then we multiply or divide from left to right, and then add or subtract from left to right. Now, if any of these are not part of your equation, you skip over it and you go to the next one. So our first example says Jordan and Annika are working on solving 15 plus 12 divided by 3 plus 5. Jordan said that the answer is 14, and Annika says that it's 24. Who is correct? So I wrote out over here my PEMDAS. I don't have parentheses. I don't have exponents. I'm not multiplying. I know there's a division and there's some addition. So first I'm going to do the division. So the 12 divided by 3. I know 12 divided by 3 equals 4. Now next I need to add. Now, since I'm adding from left to right, I need to do that first. 15 plus the 4 that I had is 19. And then I'll add the final 5. 19 plus 5 equals 24. So 15 plus 12 divided by 3 plus 5 is equal to 24. So Annika is correct here. Now our next example is a little bit more involved, but it's not hard once you break it down. We have in our braces 8 times what's inside of our brackets, which is 1 plus whatever is inside of our parentheses, 20 minus 6. And all of that is divided by 1/2. So 8 times 1 plus 20 minus 6 divided by 1/2. So I'm going to focus on my order of operation. I've got my PEMDAS written out on the side. When you have parentheses, brackets, and braces, you start inside the parentheses and then you work your way out. So the first thing I'm going to do is the 20 minus 6. So 20 minus 6 is 14. Now I work out into the brackets. So the 1 plus that 14 gave me 15. Then I work out into the braces. 8 times 15 is 120. Now I have 120 and I need to divide that by 1/2. So what does that mean? That means I'm taking my 120 and I'm cutting it into 1/2 size pieces. So what I'm essentially doing is doubling the number of pieces that I have because I'm cutting them into half size pieces. So 120 divided by 1/2 is the same thing as saying 120 times 2 equals 240. So now that we solved that final step, now we're done answering our question. So we worked from the inside out a little bit at a time and then did our final operation. Let's look at some more examples. Solve 7 7/10 plus 3/10 divided by 1/10 times 4. So always start inside the parentheses. 7 7/10 plus 3/10 gives us 8 altogether, 8 whole, because the 3/10 and the 7/10 make 1 whole. Next, we're going to divide by 1/10. So remember, when you're multiplying or when you're dividing by a fraction, flip that fraction. You're going to change the symbol. You're going to flip the fraction. And then you're going to do your work. So 8 divided by 1/10 is the same thing as saying 8 times 10, which is 80. So now I have 80 and I'm going to multiply it by the last operation I need to do here, which is 80 times 4, gave me 320. Let's take a look at another one. 24 divided by 3 plus 1 times 2. Now, first I need to solve what's inside my parentheses, the 3 plus 1, which is 4. Then I go out to my bracket. So now I have that 4 times 2 is 8. And then I can do my division. The 24 divided by 8 was equal to 3. So as long as you're doing the steps in the order that they were given to you, you're going to get to your right answer. All right, we've got one more example before our guided practice. This one says, Teresa bought 3 containers of tennis balls at $2.98 each. She had a coupon for $1 off. Her mom paid for half of the remaining cost. How much did Teresa pay? Evaluate the expression 3 times $2.98 minus 1 divided by 2. So I know there's 3 packs of tennis balls. Each one is $2.98. She has a $1 off coupon and her mom is going to pay for half of it. That's all the information I have. Now we've got the expression written out. And I have to solve what's inside my parentheses first. So 3 times $2.98 is $8.94. Now I can do the $8.94 minus the 1 is $7.94. $7.94 divided by 2. I did my division over here on the side, is $3.97. So Teresa and her mom each pay $3.97 for the 3 packs of tennis balls. Let's take a look at your guided practice. Number 1 says, explain the steps in evaluating 4 plus 2 minus 1 times 3. So first we solve what's inside the parentheses, the 4 plus 2, which gives us 6. Then we go out to the brackets. 6 minus 1 gave us 5. And then we go outside to multiply. 5 times 3 equals 15. Number 2, would the value of 12 minus 4 divided by 4 plus 1 change if the parentheses were removed? Yes, absolutely. Now, if there were no parentheses, we would start with the 4 divided by 4. But since the parentheses are there, we have to begin with the 12 minus 4. 12 minus 4 gives us 8. 8 divided by 4 is going to give us 2. And then 2 plus the 1 is actually going to give us 3. So ignore the error over here. That's going to get corrected. But if you did 12 minus 4 divided by 4, you're going to have 12 minus 1 plus another 1, which is going to leave you at 12. For number 3, we have 7 times 6 minus 1 plus 100. So again, start inside the parentheses. 6 minus 1 is 5. So 7 times 5 is going to be 35. 35 plus 100 is 135. For number 4, 17 plus 4 times 3. So first you're going to do the 4 times 3 is 12. So 17 plus 12 will give you 29. Number 5, 8 plus 1 times 9 times 7. So you're going to do what's inside the parentheses first. The 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 9 times 7. Your next order of operations is the 9 times 7, which is going to give you 63. So 9 plus 63 is going to equal 72. And then our last one, 4 times 3 divided by 2 plus 3 times 6. So again, work from the very, very inside. 4 times 3 in the parentheses is 12. 12 divided by 2 is going to give you 6. 6 plus 3 is going to give you 9. And then you're going to do 9 times 6, which is going to give you 54. So I know it looks complicated and it's a few steps, but if you're following the order of operations, solving becomes really easy. That's it for this lesson. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.